G'day folks, it's Jay here. Well, I want to say first off, I noticed I've got a few followers and I really appreciate it, guys, with your comments and a few little likes. So it means that I'm putting these videos up and people are enjoying them. So that's what a lot of it was about. Sharing my little bit of information that I learned along the way, and people are getting a bit of a some enjoyment and learning too, because that's what it's all about. I've got to a point in my life, I'm 47 years of age, and I've really found my passion. Always tinkered with cars from a young age, but never really took them to the next level. Just done little bits and pieces and made them look nice and made them in that sense. But to take a car to the next level on your own without really any exterior help, with just sheer passion and determination and wanting to learn, I get a real kick out of it. I really do. So really thank you guys for the feedback that you're giving me, and I appreciate it. Alright, well, the car is running like an absolute animal. So I ran my 1 minute 8 down there, and I did it easy too. It wasn't really even, to be honest, I wasn't really pushing the car that hard. It's my ability at the moment is holding it back. I'm just still learning to drive. The last thing I want to do is hurt the car or hurt myself. So I'm driving well within my ability. Mind you, I'm not getting slower, but there's no big hurry to rip out these quick times. If I can just knock a second, half a second off or whatever each time the conditions are right down there, and then do it when the timing's right, so be it. It was a warm one. Look, it was 30 odd degrees down there. I'll admit it, the car got a little bit warm. So I've got some little plans to try and improve on that. First off, I want to explain that I'm going to. This is an old bonnet. Obviously, that hole in the bonnet was the turning point. The day I did that, I really regretted it. So, but it is what it is. I've got a spare bonnet, so I'm not too fussed. So down the track, when I eventually paint the car, when I achieve what I want to achieve with the track and the Simmons tyre, just sort of get to a point where I feel I want to paint the car, I've got another bonnet. I'm going to cut probably about that line right along, down. Then I'm going to leave this top part for strength still, and what that'll allow, because of the lip, it will increase the gappage, because I've roughly got a 30mm gap there now, but by doing that it's going to add another 30mm roughly of air gap at the back of the bonnet. So I think that's a lot of the trouble, is I'm getting the air in but I can't get it out quick enough. That did improve it, lifting the bonnet, but I think I can improve it again. So with that in mind, once I take the bonnet up, take it off, cover it all up, protect it, and then do a nice neat, mark it all out, do a really nice neat job of that, and we'll see how that works. And my next thing is I'm going to put an oil cooler on it. As I'm talking to more people down there, telling them what was going on with my car, it's a no-brainer. It has to have an oil cooler on it. You cannot push a car down there and get away with it. It's as simple as that, especially one that's making a reasonable amount of power. and expect to just for the radiator to keep the whole engine cool. So I'm going to mount one off the back of the car, as well as a remote oil filter mount as well. So I'll plumb that all in down the back, and the accumulator too. I have a chart, I have a diagram on that one, how to set that all up, and I'll guide you all through it and show you how it's done. And that should help, well, it will help temps on the oil. The next thing as well, once that's all sort of, well, this is in the process because the car's going to be in dry dock for a couple of months. I'm going to, not that I've had oil pressure issues, but I know now that I'm pushing this engine that little bit harder than what I did with the other motor. I'm going to modify a standard oil pump. I've got onto a fella that mods them for lots of other people, and what it does, it improves oil pressure at lower revs with an extra benefit of a little bit more up top. I can achieve around 65 pound, but this with these mods you can get them up around 70 to 75 pound and increase overall at lower revs an average of 5 to 10 pound more per 1,000 revs. I ain't going to put a high volume on. They just have too much load. I've heard some pretty nasty stories of cam, the sprocket, not the sprocket, sorry, the cam gear, the worm gear, onto the oil pump shaft. It gets excessive, wears out excessively quickly. It can shear the pin off the oil pump shaft, the top gear, and apparently they pump so much they can, you end up with all your oil in the top of the heads. So I think this little trick of modding a standard oil pump is the way to go. So I'm going to show you step by step on how that's all achieved. And so the bloke says, turn a turd into something quite special. So yes, my next video will be part 4 on the transmission, diff, other odds and ends. That panhard rod, I want to talk about that too. So yeah, so a lot more videos to come. I've got some other little things that are bubbling in my mind at the minute I'm going to think about doing. So that's it for now, guys. I'll catch you later.